Roy. How you doing, Roy?
I'm doing well.
Good. We're sipping and snacking today. What are we drinking? We're drinking watermelon mocktail. You got vodka or tequila in yours, or what are you drinking?
Yeah.
You're keeping it simple with me today?
Keeping it simple.
I like it.
I have work
so
in the
good,
morning.
though. Right? Yeah, I do too. I mean, it doesn't always matter, but. Well, welcome to the crib. I'm glad to have you here. Thanks for being a guest on my show. What you been up to?
I've been fairly busy, as usual.
Always busy.
Right.
You know Roy is busy.
I run a cold storage who is also a wholesaler for seafood products. So I deal a lot with that. I also sell real estate, and I also still DJ. So
Yeah, you still DJing?
Mhm.
Oh, I didn't know you picked that back up again. That's fun.
Yeah.
Do you have do you DJ just like at weddings, or are you DJing at, are you consistent?
Mostly now it's just weddings or events. Every now and again we get like a party, or we do like a bar or something like that. And it's usually repeat bars that they know.
Oh, cool.
So
All right, well, anybody local, I'll definitely put your info on the website. If they want a nice, fun DJ. You're getting a lot. You're getting your hands full with this one right here, but it's a good time.
oh yeah, always.
So you've been managing, I guess, the warehouse, or yeah,
It's a private cold storage, and like they're a wholesaler, so we deal a lot with big food brand companies that come and pick stuff up, and they distribute to smaller restaurants and stuff like that.
Oh,
so
nice. How long you been there?
about 7 years.
No, good.
So
What were you doing before that?
bars. I did.
Could be how I know you, huh?
You may have been my boss.
Oh, maybe.
Yes.
Well, you're here, so that can't be too bad.
Oh no, definitely. No, you were one of the best bosses. Like,
Hey, say it again. I don't think they heard you.
she was one of the best bosses. So
Thank you
I
for
mean,
that.
yeah. I mean, I've always been the same when it comes to like just my relationships with people. That's what you do when you don't really have to change yourself. You just be honest with people. You try to tell them the good and the bad. I mean, like that's all you can do. Oh
Have
yeah.
those conversations with them, and those tough conversations. A lot of new managers are scared to have those tough conversations, but I think I was talking about this the other day. You just got to have the conversation. You've got to sit down and talk about it, and then you don't have to think about it anymore. Once you've talked about it and it's over and you're done, you got that weight off your shoulders.
Well, I mean, you think about this. A basic conversation is going to be your key elements to marriage, friendships, even with your family. I mean, a real friend is going to be the one that can sit down and tell you when you're messing up. Mm-hmm. And they're going to be the ones that'll sometimes hit you in the face with, man, I'm really messing up.
Yeah. That's how I know who my real friends are. The ones who correct me, or the ones who tell me what I don't want to hear, and I respect that so much. And even if I don't feel like hearing it in that moment, I mean, that's what I want and need from a friend, right? Honest communication.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you also got to be, like, as a person, and I find that this is where people in present times have the biggest problem is their opportunity is they're afraid to look themselves in the face. Yeah, like, you look in the mirror and like if you're messing up. Like, when somebody tells you, "Hey, listen, I heard this about you." Either you can explain it, or I mean, most of the time people are trying to make excuses about it. Just take your lick. Okay, I messed up.
Yeah.
What can I do to get in good graces?
Because nobody's perfect. Now, I don't claim to
No.
be perfect by any means at all. So you have to understand, mistakes happen.
You look at social media, things like that. Like, everybody paints this perception of being
You've got to be perfect. Or
nobody's
so
perfect.
You get canceled.
Nobody.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
that it makes people afraid to talk about their problems. It makes people afraid to talk about what their dreams are, or whatever. I mean, because people want to be part of something. And that's where it becomes either positive or negative. Either you can be part of something bigger and be positive for people, or you can jump on the bandwagon and shame somebody, and that'll make you feel good about yourself.
Right, I don't get that. That doesn't make me
No.
feel good at all. I don't manage petty. Like, I'm not a petty person. It doesn't make me feel good to be petty or get off on you. I believe in karma. It's going to happen anyway. I don't need to do anything or be petty. And
That is my philosophy.
Yeah.
I don't have to do anything to you because you're going to burn yourself out
that's
eventually.
it. I mean, I was in a situation to where I got a promotion and other people didn't care that I got a promotion, and started saying bad things about me and talking about me. And of course, it comes back to you. And my response every time was, that's really unfortunate. And I'm sorry that person feels that way. I never had any desire to talk bad about, this individual back. Like, there was nothing in me that wanted to, because I feel like people know me. I say that a lot. I'm like, go ask about me. I don't have to tell you about me because I've put that reputation out there all these years, and I'm genuine and I'm authentic, and people know that.
I don't give negative people my energy.
Yeah, it's
Like,
exhausting, right?
Well, one of my things, like, if I don't like people, I'm cordial,
Yeah, same.
but I'm not gonna cut up with you
Right. It's not
because
necessary.
I know what you're about. And the one thing I've realized over time, and I'm 45 now, so yeah, I've made it this far. So, is that negative people, they just want that response out of you. I'm not giving you my energy, dude. Like, you're not worth it at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think it's a lot about, you touched on it a second ago, it's like knowing yourself. You got to know yourself, love yourself, know who you are before you can think about trying to manage other people.
Well, I mean, that's, you think about that too, though. That's the basic thing. How can you love somebody else if you don't love yourself?
Yeah.
Like, you're not prepped for that. And I'm not saying, like, you have to be, like, egomaniac, but, like, you have to care about yourself in order to care for
No, I
somebody
think it's
else.
the opposite, actually. And talk about the ego. I think it's like I'm so confident in myself and who I am that it's a waste of my time to try to get over on you or try to be petty or have a get back, right? Like, I know myself and I'm confident in who I am. I don't have any desire to do that.
How many times have we seen that come out in the wash?
Yeah.
It always comes out in the wash, dude. You'll find out, because they'll tell you, dude, everybody will tell you their part of the story. And this is my philosophy on that. You got this person's side and this person's side and what really happened. And if you cut the corners, you kind of figure out, okay, you messed so-and-so over, they got mad, and this happened. Like, it's usually some big drama, and I just don't have the energy to do it, dude.
Yeah, that's actually I think one of these questions. I'm going to get into them right now. So what experience do you have so far in leadership roles?
When I did big box loss prevention manager, I was responsible for theft, fraud, safety. So you had to know everybody in the building, and you had to make sure that they could do tasks for you. I also got the privilege of doing new hire orientations. And I used to like that because I would get to walk with them. I would get to see new people when they were in their most pure before they started work.
Right.
And I told them, one of the things I would always tell them is, if you hang out with somebody and they're negative, you'll be packing out with them and they'll be telling you all these things. And eventually you're going to realize you're the only one packing out. And all they're doing is talking mess. So then what's going to happen to you? Then you're going to become disgruntled. And you're going to talk to somebody else about it. Or it's just negative breeds negative. So I told them, just be polite. Just get away from them. Because you already know. They're one of those angry employees that there's nothing you can do to make them better with it. So
it's their personality. Right. So what qualities do you believe make a successful leader?
You got to be honest. You got to be willing to know your people. Like, you have to get to know them.
Conversations, right?
Absolutely. Like the most basic conversations. And then you build on that. And you find out people's family. You find out, are they married? Dating somebody? Do they have kids? Parents.
Getting to know them personally.
Absolutely. They're not just a number, because nobody wants to feel like a number.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for saying that, because, sometimes it just gets to that point. And as somebody, mid-level like me, I have to make sure that I don't want anybody who is on my team to feel like they are just a number, because sometimes I feel like that, and I would never want anybody else to feel like that.
It's a terrible feeling.
It's horrible, yeah. No, they are my team is very important to me, and I let them know it all the
They
time.
have to be. You have to thank them daily. You have to be like they become part of your family because one of the guys
Spend more time with them than your family sometimes.
I was gonna tell you.
Yeah.
I worked with an assistant manager, and when I would go bartend with you, he and I had that conversation, and he was like, "Man, you realize I see you at work all day, and I come hang out for a little while here." And he's said that I spend more time with you than I do with my actual family.
Right.
And that's when your patrons and stuff like that in a bar become like your
You get
little
to know
like,
everything about them, and
yeah.
they know everything about you. Yeah, it's family.
They look forward to that. Like they want that interaction.
Yeah, I mean, and so you know a little bit about this because I kidnap your wifey every once in a while, but we have
The horror.
I have my girls' confessional nights.
Oh, yeah.
We call them confessionals. Anything goes right here at this table. It doesn't leave the table. It stays right here.
No, I can tell you
Right.
honestly, I don't know anything because she usually gets home and passes straight out.
Right. But that's needed because, like you just said, you know, we work, and then we have our family, and it's like, when do we have girlfriend time, or when do we have that time where we can just let loose and let go, and all of that's really important. I
But
feel like
that's why we try like that's important too though. Everybody needs that downtime. Like
Yeah.
everybody needs that time away. That
I think
time
so. Yeah, for your
to
mental
reset.
health.
It's a reset.
Yeah,
You see
absolutely.
how your people are doing. You cut up for a little while, and you see how real life is.
Yeah,
'Cause,
you're
like-
caught up in the day to day.
Right.
So, how do you motivate and inspire employees to reach their goals at work?
One of the first things, even when I'm going through an interview process, is we talk. Like, you talk. What are your plans? What do you want to do? What do you aspire to do? What are your goals? I love to know people's goals. Because if I know your goal, I can get you there in some way,
That's
shape, or
true.
form. As a manager, I consider myself part of the team. I call it the
Absolutely.
team. I say
Yeah.
us. I say we. Things like that. Because I've had managers that me. It kills your vibe.
It does.
Because usually they're very self-centered, usually not the most honest, and all they care about is numbers.
So you're saying that to inspire your team, you're there with them every day and like knee deep in it.
I get wet with them.
You get wet with them.
I do. Like
Yeah.
any I had a manager when I was in my mid-20s, and he was one of the youngest big box retailers when I lived in Atlanta. And he would go throughout the whole building, greet everybody, shake their hand, and start a piece of their morning project with them. And it was understood that he wasn't going to finish the entire project with you.
Right.
But you saw that he was there with you. He wanted to know how you were doing. He wanted to be involved. And that's, if you can gain your team's trust like that, and they know, they're going to do what you need them to do when you're not there.
It's true. Yeah. Gain
And
their
I tell
trust,
them all the time, I want you to be able to take my job.
yeah. Right.
And-
Yeah. I never understood people who were, oh, I don't want to train them on everything I know because they could take my job. Well, if you're good at your job, nobody's going to take it. I'm training them to know everything I know. I want them to have that work ethic and know everything that I know so that if I'm not here or I have to go do something or have an emergency, I have that staff that knows everything they need to do.
Yeah, I mean, well, you go through, everything becomes like routine. They know what they're supposed to do. Now, every once in a while you get an employee that you have to sit down with them consistently and be like, okay, why didn't you do this? Oh, I just didn't do it. Those are usually the ones that are going to kill your good employees' morale. Because then they start looking at, well, I have to do their job for you.
There was a situation you talk about being knee deep with your team, getting wet with them. I don't know if it was you who couldn't clean it up or if it was you who helped me clean it up. We had a situation. One night I was with you guys and we had a situation. Somebody got sick. Yeah, in the bathroom.
In the women's bathroom.
Yeah. And
It was me. I cleaned it.
Yeah, I was gonna say we had an employee who couldn't do it, and so I want to say it was like in the door, so it was hard to get out. I think that was the men's room actually. What I'm thinking about.
I've had
It's
it
like-
to where it's both bathrooms. I can tell you.
I'm
that-
in there cleaning everything just like y'all. We're all
Oh,
we're in
yeah,
it
dude.
together, you know. And,
Well, I
and
mean-
if I was working one-on-one or, you know, had an employee who couldn't do it, man, all right, go ahead. I'll take care of it. I think that's important to do those tasks that you don't want to do. But I'd never ask somebody to do something I wasn't willing to do myself.
If you had any of my current employees right now, seriously, they'll tell you.
All right.
I clean bathrooms.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I know you do.
I clean bathrooms. I mop.
Yeah.
I dust with them. Anything I ask them to do. Because if I ever ask you to do something, you can never tell me I didn't see you do it.
Exactly. That's really what it is, too. You're in there with them. You're working with them, and they see. So whenever you need a favor or pick up a shift or, you know, you need something extra done, they're willing to do it because they know that you're in there with them.
Oh, all the time.
Yeah, I agree with that. So how do you ensure that everyone is staying on track to reach their objectives? Like you said, mentioned earlier, something about, you know, rambling on with a coworker. How do you keep your team on track?
I mean, I lay down my expectations. Like, they know. Like, okay, there's a couple of things with the way I manage things. I ask for your input. Because I tell you, off top, I don't know everything. If you have a better way that you think that we can process something, let's try it your way. Now, it can go both ways. I have newer employees that come and they want to do it a way that we've already tried, and it wasn't successful. And I'll tell them, we've tried this before, but let's try it and see what happens.
So you can prove it to them.
Up to this point, I've never had the situation turn itself the other way to where they were
Gotcha.
like, oh, I got it to work.
Yeah.
Because a lot of things that I deal with are high dollar and it's counting things. So I have to come up with different ideas. If something fails, one thing about me, I'm never going to bring you a problem. I'm going to bring you a solution.
Yep.
I'll tell you what the problem was, but I'll also tell you what I did to offset it.
Yeah. I think it's important explaining the situations to people. I don't like people who are just like, no, don't do that. I'm going to tell you why you're not supposed to do that. Like, there's a reason I'm telling you that.
I've had a boss that always told me, I don't care why, just get it done.
No, I don't like that.
No,
I like to
because you
explain
feel
it.
like you're not on their team.
Right. Yeah.
Because you never
a good
want to hear
point.
your supervisor say, I don't care.
True.
If I tell you I don't care, it's like, hey, I'm going to put this down right here. Okay, I don't care. Like, that's something I don't care.
Yeah.
If it's something that has to do with a customer or some kind of, like, work-based opportunity, I care.
Right.
That's what they pay me to do. That's how you lead with integrity. I mean, that's all I ask for them. People are going to mess up. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to do things. But I tell everybody I know that I've ever worked with, if you make a mistake, I want to know right then and there. Trust me, I work with ice. So
Gotcha. Yeah, that's.
I've had employees hit walls with lift equipment, things like that.
Tell me
The
about it.
fastest way to lose your opportunity there is to not report something and let it
Right.
go.
Yeah, because like you said earlier, we all make mistakes. You've got to tell me now so we can fix it. Don't make it worse.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that goes into being a leader too, and like knowing that we're all adults. I'm not gonna reprimand you and scream at you and throw. Like, I'm just not gonna be like that. We're gonna solve the problem. We're gonna work on a solution, and then we'll talk about what not to do next time later. But I'm not gonna embarrass you or anything like that. So I think that some managers do that. They take that technique of I'm gonna make you feel like crap, and I hate that because I wouldn't want anybody to. It doesn't teach anything.
No, it makes you shameful and it makes you
Yes,
not want to say something.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. So what techniques do you use to settle conflicts between members of your team?
It's on a basis.
I put them together. I'm like, y'all got to
Dude.
deal with it.
Well, I mean, you got to know your people. Like, you got to know what's going on. You got to get everybody's story. I like to do it separate and then
Yeah, I agree.
together. Like, I'll ask one person what happened. I'll ask the other person what happened.
Yeah.
And then we'll all sit there. I also try not, if I have somebody that keeps making the same errors, I try to have conversations with the whole team. I'm never going to target somebody because, I mean, some people are swift with things and some people need a little extra explaining sometimes. And you got to be able to wear kids' gloves and be able to deal. But that's when it comes to knowing your people. You'd be like, all right, they messed up, but like.
I just thought of a situation where I asked for your help at work one time. I had this coworker who didn't smell the best.
I had it written down, dude. I was going to go over it. They didn't know how to address it because it was a male. And I did it in a funny way. I walked in and I had a can of Axe spray and I walked past him, walked down the stairs, and I threw it in the air. And when he caught it, I was like, you might need that, bro. And he looked and I was like, dude.
Yeah, I wanted you to have a conversation with him.
And I did. Right after I did it, because he looked kind of puzzled. And I was like, dude, I work multiple jobs and I work in a warehouse, so I know that I can be musty sometimes. Just spray yourself with some of this. Yeah. And it fixed itself.
Yeah. It was a conversation that I felt like a male should have with a male. Not that I would have had the conversation, but I was trying not to embarrass him. He's a very sensitive man.
Right. And
so,
he was a great guy.
Yeah,
so
great guy.
It's
great
not
guy.
like there was nothing malicious in it, but somebody had said something, and then it reached you, and we were cool. So when I was a department manager at another retail establishment, I had to sit down with one of my employees because they used to hotbox cigarettes in their car.
Ew.
Because you only would get like a 15-minute break. So he would try to smoke as many cigarettes as possible. And I was like, I once again brought the Axe spray and I was like, dude, when you come inside, because it was a customer complaint.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, you gotta use something. Or I told him, just stop hotboxing in the car.
Right.
There's no rule that says you have to sit in your car and smoke cigarettes.
No, that's got to smell awful.
I mean, I smoked for a long time.
Yeah.
But I would always hold it away from me.
I worked in the bar, so I went home smelling like it every day. Let's see. What processes do you use to evaluate the performance of your team?
Like I said, I get well with them all the time. Like, I know what they're doing. I'll give them stretch assignments to check me.
Okay.
And I know I don't need to be checked. But I have some vendors that use cold storage and they can't count well. So they'll try having a discrepancy. So the way I look at it is the more eyes on something, most people be like, oh, I don't have an ego with that.
Right.
I want them to do my job. Yeah. Like, I want them to be able to, I want them to be confident. I don't want them to be all shaky, like nervous to do something. I have faith that they can do what I need them to do.
Yeah.
When I go on vacation now, my first like 2 to 3 years while I was there, I would call, they would call me. I'm like, the past 2 times I went on vacation,
yeah, you stuck with training. You're in there with them. You're showing them everything.
Well, not just that. I find out what's coming in when I'm gone. I walk with them to let them know where to put things. I try to give you every line that I can for me to be gone, that you're free.
Yeah.
You don't need to worry. Because the last thing you want is that in the back of your mind, oh, man, I'm being watched, or, man, they don't have any faith in me. You got to trust people. Treat them the way you want to be treated.
That's huge. I say that all the time. And that's in general with everybody, but
Everybody,
especially with your
anything.
team, though, you know. So how do you measure success as a leader? Yeah, when you go home and you're like, man, it was a successful day. We had a great day today.
I look at it, are my people happy? Am I doing the most I can do to get them to where they're not stressed out? Because there's one thing about me. I would rather stay at work a little while later and complete my tasks so that I don't walk into chaos in the morning.
Yeah.
I can't stand. Number one, if I have a bad day today, I'm waking up tomorrow and I'm not thinking about yesterday. I'm not going to. Because that's how you get yourself in a bad situation. Like, you just keep thinking negative. You keep living in what happened yesterday. It's a new day. Start new.
Yeah.
Whether you argue with somebody, whether anything. But I also base success on Did you accomplish everything? You know what? My current supervisor thinks I'm crazy because I ask for orders like 2 weeks in advance. Because I never know what's going to happen. You never know what, especially dealing with logistics and stuff like that, hiccups come up.
Yeah.
Things come up. So if you're already ahead of the game, you can take on something that pops up. You're not going to, your world is not going to fall apart.
No, that's true.
But it also takes stress off your people. Like, that's what I worry about. Are my people stressed?
Yeah.
Like, why are they
'Cause
stressed?
if they're not good, I'm not good.
Well, usually, I mean, that's what happens.
Yeah.
So the way I look at success is it doesn't all have to get done that day, but you have to look at each other when you leave and be like, man, we did some stuff.
Yeah.
And you have to look at it in a positive way. But I also end every one of my days, I thank people. I tell them I appreciate them.
Yeah, that's huge.
And they know it because if you tell them that repeatedly, and I there's a couple of things my wife can tell you. I'm not going to say I'm sorry if I'm not. Like, I'm a hardhead. I believe in, if I'm doing the right thing by you, then I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not afraid to go head to head with my supervisor or anybody. When I feel my people have done something right, I'm standing by them.
Yeah. I think I had a conversation with her recently about you standing up for your team.
I always stand up for my team.
Yeah.
Because they work hard and they're good people, dude.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
and they respect you and you respect them. It's a great.
that's what it's about, dude. That's what working with people is about. Like, that's when they become your family.
Yeah.
Is because, like, they know, hey, even when I'm not here, I'm going to tell you to your face, dude. Like, you know me. Like, if I got something to say, like, I'm not holding it back.
Right.
Because I feel like I'm doing you an injustice. Like, if
I agree. Yeah. Tough conversations, but you got to have them.
Well, I mean, that's when you keep it real with people. Like, so many people say, oh, I'm real. Okay. Okay. Until some problems come up, and then, see you later. I'm out. No. You stand by people. Dude, nobody has made all the right choices.
Yeah.
People try to hide things and all. Dude, it all comes out in the wash. And then, if you lie about stuff, then people don't trust you. Right. So then you're in a different boat.
Right.
You should have just took your lick in the first place.
Don't be in the not trusting boat. That's not a fun boat to be in at all.
Negative.
It's going to sink.
No, I don't want to be in that boat, dude. No paddle. Sprung a leak.
Right. So we kind of actually didn't talk about this before, and I don't think we prepped for this or anything, but you're an entrepreneur. You're real estate, right? You do real estate, and you've owned businesses of your own in the past. Just what challenges did you face when you were an entrepreneur? Like, for somebody just starting out and they want to own their business, and can you give them an idea of like any challenges that you faced when starting your businesses?
It's gonna sound really harsh, but people lie. People always try to tell you what you want to hear, and especially when it's your money, like, things become rough real quick because they don't have respect for your stuff. When they don't show up, they don't realize you got to go in, and especially if you're doing multiple ventures, like, sometimes you can't make it in.
Right.
So, I mean, it's good and bad. I mean, there's good and bad in everything. I mean, you got to gamble to win. So, I mean, if you don't put yourself out there, you're not gonna do anything. And that's what life's about, though. You start a whole bunch of things. Like, life is a whole bunch of choices. And let's say you make this choice today, and you don't like it. It's not for you. But at least you tried it, and you know. But, like, it's all in what
Failures
you put in.
are lessons, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's all in what you put into it. So.
Well, I just think that I think that you guys were very successful, and I think that when you say people lie, do you mean like your staff? Do you mean like you? I had a Morgan on here, and we were talking about opening up a restaurant and her getting involved, and how do you handle that? Like, are they vendors they're lying to you, or are they
both?
Is it everything? I mean, that's what I'm thinking.
Vendors and employees.
The employees, yeah.
Like,
are there contracts that you feel like you should have made with people? Or there, like, what would the solution be to those issues of, people lying? Is it okay getting a new staff? Is it but see,
Sometimes you got to clean house.
yeah, you do. And that's what I go through all the time, especially now. The turnover rate is outrageous. You're constantly hiring. And, if they don't feel like it's the right environment for them, they're not sticking around. There's so many jobs available. So,
Yeah, but I mean, this goes back to the factor of nowadays a lot of people don't want to work. And a lot of my vendor problems and things like that came with COVID.
yeah, no, COVID. Yeah, it's still around. I've got 3 people out right now with COVID.
Well, I mean, I can just tell you that supply chain problems, like all that stuff multiplies, and it's all stressful. And they would rather try to tell you a white lie that you're gonna find out, so that you don't try to find another vendor. So that can happen.
When you probably respect honesty way more, right? Just
You
let
do,
me know what's
because-
going on, bro.
You think about this. If you're a vendor for something, you're going to have something else I can go with. Just because you don't have choice A
Yeah.
doesn't mean that I can't go with choice B.
Right.
But then,
Are they kind of like salesmen trying to wheel and deal you, huh?
oh yeah, you find out that the person down the street was pushing more weight than you, and they got what
it.
you needed.
We deal with that.
Yeah.
But, like when Hennessy's out. Hennessy was out for a while. They couldn't make Hennessy in glass bottles or something. And we couldn't get Hennessy for anything. But the grocery store down the street had 5 cases of Hennessy. So,
Right.
yeah.
That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about when I say
Yeah.
that people lie.
Yeah, small business is tough to compete
Well, yeah,
with the
because
bigger
then they
guys.
start looking at, instead of splitting the pot, they're trying to keep their big investment going.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it is what it is.
So when you're facing those difficult tasks, what kept you motivated? Like, what keeps you motivated as an entrepreneur?
My family.
Yeah.
Wife, kid. I mean, you just gotta just go. I mean, I'm also not, I try to be proactive. I don't try to be reactive. So I'm never trying to chase oh man, I should have caught this before. I'm almost like, oh crap, I see it coming and this is going to be bad. What can I do about it?
Right.
But like, I try to do that on a day-to-day basis, like to navigate regular life though. I mean, you look at it, I mean, my situation with my family and all is way different. Like, I have a special needs child. She's a constant curveball, but she's also my best blessing.
Oh yeah. She's
because
amazing.
for like the past 6 or 7 years, I've been working on Roy 2.0. And that is like really looking at myself and being just brutal on myself. Like, what are you doing? Like, what do you do to be a better person? Are you just talking mess? Like, are you going to stand behind your word? Are you going to try to make sure that everything's going on? Like, I'm the king of random text messages. Like, you'll be sitting there and be like, I'll send you a text message. Hey, what's up? And I usually I don't need anything behind it. Because people are like, oh, what does he need? I'm like, hey, dude, just checking in. Don't need anything, just wanted to see what's up. Sometimes it takes a couple of days, dude, but people always appreciate the factor of
You're thinking
staying.
about
Oh, yeah, because I mean, like, I've lived in different states. I've done a whole bunch of different jobs. And I always try to keep in touch with cool people because that's what life's about. Like, you meet cool people,
Yeah.
and then, like, you build on that.
Yeah.
And dude, I'm going to tell you 1,000%. Like, I know I'm not everybody's brand. I know it, dude, because I'm brutal and I'm honest. And that's, like, some people, that's a turnoff because you don't want to hear other than the praise. Dude, if something's messed up, I'm not going to be like, hey, man, I think it's great. No, dude. Dude, this is messed up. We need to fix this.
Yeah,
Well,
tough
why?
conversations. Yeah.
Because it looks terrible.
Exactly. So what do you think, like, do you have any tips for any new aspiring entrepreneurs? Besides, earlier you said just do it, which is what I've learned previously too, is like, you've got to just start it, just do it. So besides that, do you have any other advice or tips for new entrepreneurs?
Do, preferably if you're young, because if it does turn out to not work out in your benefit, you got time to recover. But also, I mean, loans, grants, stuff like that, because
Research. You got to research
Yeah,
those. Yeah.
I gambled with a lot of my own money, and I set myself back a decent bit. But like I said, if you don't gamble, you don't win.
That part, yeah.
And my wife and I had made a decision. I wanted to go one way business route, and she wanted to go the other, and we did hers. And like I said, it was just a whole bunch of wildness. Like, bought a business.
Well, then you're doing it
1 month
COVID.
before COVID. 1 month
Right.
before COVID. If I would have known that, dude, I would have been like, nah, I'm good. Thanks. No
You
thanks.
could have never predicted what
No,
was
dude,
coming
if you
your
would have told me that in
way.
1,000 years, dude, I was like, man, you're crazy, dude.
Yep.
But I mean, take the risk.
Yeah,
Because
I
what are
agree.
you gonna do if you're not happy? Like, everybody's chasing happiness, dude. Like, I don't care what kind of nonsense you say. The American dream is to be happy. Now, if you want to be fake happy, I would rather be real happy and just like not as aesthetically pleasing, I guess.
Yeah.
On
Be genuinely happy.
yeah, like I don't need to post everything online and stuff like that. And believe it or not, like for a while I was getting on there and like I post stuff like a bunch of my stuff's like with the gym and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
you and your dad do your gym.
Yeah,
What
we
is it
do
called?
Pumped with Pops.
Pumped with Pops. Yeah.
But my dad had cancer, and
Right.
like
It's your time together.
well, 14 years ago, he had cancer, and I had never seen. My dad was 6'3", like 275, like Marine, just a badass dude. Like I looked up to my dad. I still look up to my dad, but when he got cancer, it was right before my wedding. Like, it was just so crazy. And he went down to like, I think it was like 190 pounds. And he's 6'3", so he was looking fragile, dude. But he went in remission. He's cancer-free still to this day. And he got comfortable with things. And he started to gain weight. And MD Anderson told him, hey, listen, you got to lose, like, I think it was like 15 pounds. They wanted him to go to the gym 3 days. And I may have used an adjective that I'm going to keep out, but I was like, pretty much, screw that. You start tomorrow, 5 a.m. I'm clearing off my morning schedule, and it's 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. Well, it was brutal for him because, like, the gym is like my place of peace. Like, it's where I sort out all my problems. Whether it's jiu-jitsu, because I love jiu-jitsu, and the regular gym, he needed to be comfortable there. So I started taking pictures. Not only, and I didn't tell him in the beginning, but like I explained it to people. Because people are like, oh, why do you always take a picture? I'm like, dude, because if you take a picture of somebody every day, you can track their progress.
Absolutely.
So I wanted to see where he was at. I wanted to know, hey, do I need to let off? Do I need to push? Well, my dad didn't have Facebook. So he would look on my mom's Facebook and be like, what people saying about me?
That's cute.
So that's when I knew I had him.
Right.
Because I was like, all right.
He likes it. He likes the
Oh, yeah.
attention. Yeah.
Well, because people are saying he looked good.
Yeah, he
And
does,
My dad's
really.
72 years old, dude.
Yeah,
he looks great.
Great, yeah.
But I look at a lot of people that are his age, and they're not doing that.
Keep moving.
But I keep him going every day. Well, then he started getting addicted to the results because he started saying, hey, I'm flattening out, I'm toning up. And that's where I really knew that I had him because he would start, instead of me being like, hey, dude, you're doing that with ease, you need to bump it a little bit. He would start asking me, hey, do you think I should bump it a little bit? And I'm like, hell yeah. I'm like,
Okay. Yeah.
but I also tell him because he'll try to keep up sometimes. And we have a great group of people that we work out with in the morning. Like, it's a whole bunch of like different menagerie of people that just, like, it's a melting pot. So everybody feeds off of everybody. Everybody talks smack, dude. Like, but everybody, hey, try working out like this, or try resistance bands, or try this exercise. Dude.
Sounds like a good community.
It is, but like everybody supports everybody.
Yeah, that's
and
huge.
that's what it's about, though. People supporting people.
I love that you have that balance in your life.
My wife
Yeah.
My wife is the one, because like, especially with training with jiu-jitsu and stuff like that, she definitely, because she knows I'm driven with it. Like, I really enjoy it. I got a great group of people. And, like, NOLA
She supports
BJJ
all of
is
that.
awesome. New State Fitness is awesome. Like just everybody. Courage Combatives, like, all those people, that they all work together. They all want you to do well. So, like, everybody gets together, and they all want you to succeed.
I think that's why I love the skateboarding community.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's the
Dude.
same way. They just support. It's just love poured out there.
Well, I mean, you think about it. Skateboards, surfing, like, all those people.
Yeah.
But, like, it's single sports. Like, you're out there. You want to support your people. Dude, like, you told me that people hated on you for getting a promotion. I would have praised you. Dude,
Right.
what did I text you a little while ago? What did I text you today?
Yeah.
Then I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I
I'm proud of
appreciate
you for
that.
doing this. I'm
Yeah.
proud of you for getting started. I'm proud of you for getting out of your comfort zone. That's what happens. People are afraid to get out of their comfort zone.
Yeah. It's nerve.
But then you'll find when you get out of your comfort zone, there's a whole world out there.
Yeah.
So then you start trying different things. You're like, hey, man, this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try this. Maybe I won't try this. You know, I mean, you just got to support. Like, you got to support your people. You got to support your friends. You got to support your family.
Yeah. I like that. My small businesses, my friends who have small businesses,
Yeah, dude.
pushing them out there, promoting their work and sharing their stuff. And all I can ask for is that, you know, for me personally, I'm like, just share my content, just share, you know, you don't have to actually do anything, you know,
That's
but if
what
word of mouth works, great.
But that's what friends are there for.
Yeah.
That's what they should want to do for you.
Right.
Hey, look, Jenny did a podcast. Share.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, you think about it. Like, how many people do things on TikTok and it goes from TikTok to Facebook to Instagram?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it's about.
I agree. I know. I love, you're going to miss my birthday this year.
I am.
That's really sad. Just saying, because we had fun last year.
Oh, we did have fun.
We had so much fun. I can't believe you guys can't make it. But yeah, you got a great wife and a hardworking woman right there. And you guys make a great team. You're both leaders. She owns her own business too.
Mm-hmm.
My family of entrepreneurs, business leaders.
She keeps me in check.
Oh, I know she does. I don't think anybody else could.
I have been known to be a little wild.
A little bit,
At
tiny
times.
bit.
But, I mean, see, but I embrace my crazy, dude. Like, that's one of my best qualities is that, like, I've had bosses get so mad because my ADHD is off the chart. And I can carry 2 and 3 tasks at one time and complete them all at once. It's just the way my brain's wired.
Right.
I don't get stressed out with that kind of stuff.
Good. Yeah.
I'm more of, like, self-gratification of checking things off. Like, I'm a nerd. I write things down
Make
so
lists.
I write it down so I can check it off.
Make them
that's
lists.
What,
Hey,
oh, yeah.
I'm a list girl too.
Because you feel like you're doing something. Like, you
Yeah.
feel
Accomplished.
But I'm also going to tell you this, though. Do not be the type of person that if you do not accomplish everything on your list to get down on yourself.
Right. That's
Because
so
tomorrow's
true.
a new day.
Yes.
Sometimes, now I'm not telling you sandbag every day and be like, oh, I'm just going to carry over a whole bunch of stuff and never do it. Stick with what you say you're going to do.
Yeah.
Set goals for yourself.
Right.
But
That's
the
important.
thing about setting goals for yourself is you need to set obtainable goals. So many people go off the reservation with they go ham and it gets too intense. They don't know where to start. You're just starting off stressful, dude. If you start off walking, eventually you're going to run.
So that's kind of how this came to about, honestly, or it came to happen because I thought I had the idea and I've been wanting to do it, but I said, you know what? I'm actually going to do this. I'm giving myself a month. I'm giving myself 1 month to get all the equipment, everything I need together, you know, set up, schedule everything. And also, when I come up with new ideas, I obsess over them. I'm like, oh, and I fantasize and imagine. And I think that what has helped me actually make this happen and come to fruition is I only spent a couple of hours a day on it. That's it. I wouldn't obsess over it. All I would do is like, okay, I'm going to work 3 hours on this project. And once I started overthinking it, I got stressed out and I was like, oh, I'm fearful. Now I'm not going to do it. So the overthinking, I stopped doing that and I'd start thinking about something else. And so just spending a few hours a day thinking about it without obsessing over it has helped me greatly. Because if I obsessed over this, I would have imagined 2,500 different scenarios of happening. I would have been scared and I would have pulled back out and not done it.
See, I'm the king of overthinking things.
Yeah.
But that's also what keeps me in a game because I have contingency plans for contingency plans. But like I don't see, but like my brain works so fast, and that's why like I get lost in conversation, like all sort of, because ADD is real, dude. I mean, like, but I'm always all over the place. Like I cannot sit still. Like that. I'm just that type of person. Anybody that's known me since I was a little kid, dude, I've always been.
Oh my goodness, you're bouncing off of walls all the time. I mean, at one point, how many jobs? You had 3 jobs at one point, and you were still coming to work every day. And
I was working sometimes 21 hours.
Yeah.
And
yeah, you used to. I don't know how. I used to. I still don't understand how you didn't sleep.
Dude, because
how'd you do all that?
Luckily, I'm one of those people that I don't require a lot of sleep. Like I never have.
That's a blessing.
I have trouble sleeping. Period. So.
Is there anything like
your workouts? They help, right?
Sometimes they get me amped though, and I can't go to sleep.
Is that like when you do in the evening, or is it any time of
Especially
day?
with jiu-jitsu, because then I'll start thinking about stuff, and it's not like obsessing over it, but like I always try to make sure that I keep things current. So like I think about things that we went over, like where. People that know me well, you can probably confirm this. I'm my own worst critic. Like, there's nobody worse on me than myself. Because I expect a lot from myself. Like, and I've always done that because, like, sports and stuff like that, dude, I never really cared. Like, it was never my thing. Like, I liked skateboards, I liked bikes, stuff like that. You know, anything pretty much with 2 wheels or 4 wheels that I could do something stupid with. Like,
yeah.
I was like, all right, let's go. But, I mean.
How do you think all of that has turned you into the leader that you are today?
School of hard knocks, dude. I mean, like, you keep trying things until they work. I mean, like I told you, I know I'm not everybody's friend. Like, I know. But then you also look at how fake people are nowadays, and, like, you got haters. Just like. Jenny got that job. Dude, I love trying to... Now, this is one thing that I will do from time to time. If somebody thinks, then they're testing you with what you do for work. Cool. Try to do what I do. Give them the task. They get stressed out, dude, because they don't realize like all the prep work and stuff like that goes into things. But... you have certain people, like, you know who you can give stretch assignments to that are going to, like, win every time. And sometimes you have to let the other people try. But then every once in a while you get that really pompous, arrogant, I can do what you do. All right, we'll do it.
Yeah. Show me. Like, I'm a show me, don't better than tell me person.
I'm a put up or shut up, dude. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
What's the worst thing that happens?
Like, I actually
you do better than me?
Right.
Dude, I hope you can.
I hope you do. I was going to say.
I hope you can.
I hope you succeed. Like,
Right.
I want you to do better than me.
I want you to do better than I do. Oh, yeah.
I get that. I totally understand. That's how I feel, too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Well, thank you for being on my show today. I really appreciate all the advice that you've given and your stories. Oh, that's what I want to know. Tell me one of your funniest service industry stories, you know, that you can actually say on camera. What sticks out in your mind?
I've seen some things.
You know. I haven't told any of my stories. I'm putting a book.
Oh, I could write a book with you.
Right.
We had a guy having relations next to a video poker machine. Friday night, packed bar. Just hiked the chick's skirt up. That was pretty funny.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when we told the dude that he was on camera doing it.
Yeah.
Pretty sure that wasn't your wife, dude.
Yeah, no. Well, that's the thing about when you work at a place
dude.
while your regulars
You know,
come in,
everybody's
you know,
dirty.
your wife. And then why would you bring your girlfriend
Bro,
to the same bar you
I
bring
used
your
to love
wife?
seeing people's wives go in there. I'm like, dude, this is going to go over like the Hindenburg, dude.
Don't do that. Why are y'all doing that? Don't bring your wife and
No,
girlfriend
dude.
to the same
Don't
bar.
do it, period.
The bartenders know everything about you.
No,
Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I think one of mine was I got a call from one of my assistants. I think I was getting spray tan, and so I think it was like 7 p.m. I'm getting a spray tan. So after you don't know, but after you get a spray tan, you can't really you've got to dry off. You can't really let don't sweat, don't get wet, and all that stuff. And right after I got finished, I got a phone call. I guess one of the regulars had met a female there, and we're in the bathroom together and would not come out the bathroom. So finally they got him out the bathroom, and the girl was furious. So she must have getting paid for something, because she was furious. She was so mad. She tried to fight the bartender, and then she kicked the front door and shattered the front door. And so I had to go run up there and take care of all this. I'm got this long gown on, freshly tan, wet. Oh man, that was fun. That's a good time.
I had a dude shatter out a window in one of the places, and then they just kept walking down Magazine, and I was on the phone with the police the entire time, and the dude just thought that nothing was gonna happen. I'm like, nah, dude, now you're taking a ride and you got criminal damage.
Silly stuff. I had a guy break into one of my stores, and we found him because he left his prison shoe. He was still wearing prison shoes.
The slides.
And he kicked in the door, and one of the slides got stuck in the door he cut himself too, so his blood and all that. I'm just these stories. I mean, we really could go on and on and on.
We've seen some things.
Sheesh.
Done some things.
That's for another podcast.
Right.
We'll have a bloopers podcast.
Well, thank you very much.
No, I appreciate you being here. I mean, the advice is great. You like your drink? You didn't even drink your drink.
I tasted it. I'm good.
You like watermelon?
Yeah. Just not gonna down it. I was afraid I would have to use the bathroom.
I promise I did right. Well, you are old. Would you say you're 45? Yeah, I get that.
I am, dude. Hey, I made it this far.
We're not talking about my age. I don't exist. My age doesn't exist.
No. I don't know anything.
All right. Well, I love you, and thank you again.
Love you, dude.
And I'll talk to you soon,
Anytime.
I'm sure. All right.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Thank you.